Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. If you're new here, please hit the like and subscribe button, hit the bell so you know whenever I post a video. Really quick. I cannot make this video long because I actually have a couple more videos to film, and then after that I'm going to the spa. So I'm not gonna make this long because I'm gonna have to do another video. I'm gonna have to follow up with another video. I'll just do this as like a first reaction to the Meghan Markle docu-series or whatever on Netflix. What is it? With Love, Meghan? Oh my god. Okay, now, caveat, I have only seen the first episode and half of the second episode. And I wasn't even supposed to watch that because I told you guys, I've actually got a full day today. I actually put an elliptical bike in my studio upstairs. And I was like, dude, 2025 is going to be my year. I'm going to get in shape because I already had a gym membership. Okay, tangent anyway. But basically my little like, how do you call it? Ritual has been early in the morning. I wake up, get on the elliptical bike, get on the stationary bike, I'm sorry, and I'll watch either a podcast or a documentary. I'll catch up on the news or whatever, and I'll just stay there for an hour, basically. And yeah, it was only supposed to be an hour, and I already had a bunch of other stuff to do this morning, but I was like enthralled. I absolutely got engulfed in. Oh my god, it's so good. Okay, first of all, Meghan looks beautiful, as always. But it's just so amazing to get a peek in the life, you know? Just a peek into what she's doing all day, you know? I know a lot of us who are fans of hers, like, what's she doing? But also, like, as someone, there's so many thoughts bubbling through me. I don't even know if it's going to make sense, but I get vibes of it's okay to do what you love, right? We all know that Meghan went through all of this crazy crap with, you know, all the attacks, you know, and the attacks that continue against her. And in this day and age that we live in, people will like basically make you forget to love, you know? And I just, seeing her cooking, which everything looks amazing, like the yogurt parfait and the frittata that she made for Mindy Kaling, and like the honey and raspberry preserves cake and the homemade candles, is like, people look at this and they already have their preconceived notion about Meghan, you know. But she was doing lifestyle stuff with the Tig. She was doing lifestyle stuff like when she was, you know, climbing in through the trunk of her car because she couldn't afford to, like, and, you know, I just love that. I love that she tells you, I'm doing this with love and I'm doing it for the people that I love. And I think that that is something that is really, after this, I'm going to get off of here because, again, it's a first reaction, 5 stars all the way. But it just reminds you, okay, you look at the news, you look at, you know, television, you even look at Hollywood right now, you look at TV shows, and everything is just so dark and gloomy. You know, I don't know when things got like that, but it just reminds you, you know, it's okay to do what you love. It's okay to do the things that you love with the people that you love. And it's okay to be yourself, you know, like, it just, so many attacks on her to basically try and break her down. We already know where that comes from. That's just, you know, that hate has been alive since, you know, we've been here. But, It reminded me, because I also really enjoy baking. All the stuff that Meghan enjoys, I really like. And I think a lot of us who do come out of like that millennial early, because I think she technically is a millennial. Don't quote me on that. Maybe she's millennial or Gen X. But you guys know Instagram was popping in the early 2000s. Not saying that it's not now. I mean, I feel like it's something else. But like before it was just like showing like, you know, just, I don't know, something generic and superficial now. Before, you used to be able to, like, if you made a new creation with some food, you know, like, that I was all over that in the early 2000s, early 2010s with Instagram with that. And so I even remember I had an account back in the day where I would do stuff like that. I would post like hiking and food and all this stuff. And basically Meghan did the same thing. It's just now she can afford to do it on this like bigger scale. So the fact that people talk about her as if she's disingenuous. Anyway, but I feel like a lot of the millennial type people who were on Instagram in the early 2010s and were into like all of the food, you know, the foodie photos and, you know, all that lifestyle stuff, they can really understand where she comes from, because it just makes life better, you know? Like, okay, I don't have to add this arugula. I don't have to add this zest of lemon. But, you know, even when you know, you're starting out in your career and you're broke, you know, if you're that type of person, just that little slice of avocado or whatever, it just, you're like, oh, yay, you know? So anyway, I'm totally nerding out with her. And I love her, like, she definitely has Prince Harry's like dry European humor has definitely rubbed off on her. She's like latte love, you know, and she's like got these mom jokes. Like, what did she say? She was like, now we're cooking turkey, you know. She just has these like little dorky like quips, and I'm like, oh my god, I love it so much. But okay, ultimately, last thing I will say, what I really took away with it, and I have to put in a little bit of an anecdote here to show my love for the show and show my love for what Meghan did. So you guys know I'm American, and I have lived in France for a long time now. It's been like 8 years, even though we're trying to come back to the US, but whatever. The visa process for, because you guys know my husband is European and it's so long or whatever. So we'll probably actually go back to Portugal before we go, because he's Portuguese. But anyway, something that I realized as an American, as, you know, look at me, you know, in Europe, there's definitely like this, and I think we talked about this before, there's definitely this stereotype that Europeans, whether they're French, whether they're German, whether they're British, that they're kind of like stoic, right? And when I first moved here, I did what I did back in the US. If I was meeting with friends or colleagues or something, I would try to bring over like some baked goods. This is the same thing I would do back home. Like, whether my friends were coming to me or I was coming to them, I try to do something out of love, because that's, I think a lot of Americans, especially if you grew up in the South, that's what your grandma did, that's what your mom did, you know, even if it was something simple like baked chicken or, you know, like a nice little fruit salad or something, you bring it over, they come to you, you make it for them. And so when I got here, you know, when I moved to France, I would do the same thing for, you know, friends and colleagues or church members or, you know, co-workers or fellow students when I was in school. And I didn't get the reaction I was hoping for. Like, most of the time, people would be like, oh, you did this? Like, not to sound shady, but like, but it's kind of like a low-key shade. They're like, oh, you really don't have to feel obliged to do this. Like, you didn't have to do this. Even though they, like, you can clearly see from their face that they enjoy what I made or whatever, but it's like, I don't know. As an American living in Europe, it's like a slight competition thing. It's like they're like, and this is not everybody. Now, with my good friends will be like, oh, you brought me this little quiche? I brought some bubbly. You know, it's like with good friends, it's like that. But with some people, it's like you insult them actually by doing them a good deed. And so I thought on that. And this has happened to me several times, you know, making friends, being in a different country other than your own, and getting to know people. And you take stuff over, you take baked goods or whatever, and the reaction is like a low-key shade. This has happened to me several times in Paris. That could also just be that people from Paris, they also are just an animal all in their own respect, and we can do a whole nother video about that. But when you're with your good people, you know, with your people and the people that you really, really love and who really love you, who really understand you, they see it. They see the love behind it. And that's basically what I got from with love, Meghan. You know, like her friend Daniel, he's just like, he feels like home, you know, and her sharing that with him feels like home. With Mindy, it feels like home. And those were the key themes that I got. You know, it's okay to be yourself, you know, and I think that Meghan is continuously on that journey, since she does have so many critics and people who attack her, and just this disgusting tabloid machine that's just always trying to squeeze misery and unhappiness out of her. I love that she knows it's okay to be you, it's okay to do you, and to let the haters hate. And I also got, you know, share the love with the people that you love from this. Because, I mean, am I going to stop making baked goods for just people? No, because I like to bake, okay? But, you know, it definitely is a different vibe when you're sharing it with the people who, they really love your soul. And you love their soul, and you know, you know who each other, you know each other's, I can't even verbalize it, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying. You know, you're on the same level, and that really deep love is between you. Not that, like, you know, sticking the butt out hug love, or that, you know, whatever. So it's amazing. I cannot wait to watch the rest of it. I'm going to watch the rest of it and, you know, come back to you guys and give my full review. I also want to bring you guys my thoughts on Invictus Games. That's coming, guys. I had the flu. I'm actually still a little but I had the flu for like 2 weeks, and it was ugly. I mean, like, I lost my voice, and I was like, 1 second I was like throwing off all the covers, you know, just picture my husband like bringing me like food and medicine, and I'm just like, you know, like really laid out, and then I'm like hot throwing off the covers 1 second, and the next second I'm like freezing and shivering. But it was, yeah. But I want to know what you guys think. I will come back and give the rest of my reaction to it. And if you're new here, hit the like, subscribe button, hit the bell so you know whenever I post a video. Bye!